Well, it turns out there is a magic key. There's a magic key in here, and right in here, I started looking, I said, well, why is it so difficult to make this shift to a new paradigm or a new way of thinking? Because it appears that there's like a glue that keeps us stuck. Yes? Well, I thought if there's a glue, there must be a releasing agent of some kind. And it turns out that there is a glue and there is a releasing agent, and they are one and the same. And it is emotional energy. How many of you think I'm right about that? It wasn't unanimous, though, was it? Linda, let's pass out the cups. I cannot believe how suspicious you've become in such a short period of time. Okay, so we have a little bit of water in the bottom of the cup, clear water. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my mouth, and I'm going to swish it around. I'm going to spit it back in the cup. And then I'll ask you to do the same. Look like this. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I guess if you say so. Some nuts were in there.
Okay, now, if you didn't have a brownie or something, you know, over there on the break, I mean, it's probably still okay. How many of you had just a little bit of trouble with this exercise?
Is there nuts in it?
Did you have a little trouble? Did you have a little trouble, Kimmy?
With the exercise or looking at my water?
Well, either one.
Looking at my water now.
So why is that? Why is it not so good to look at the water?
Because I just ate nuts.
Oh, you just ate nuts. So there's a little floaty or something in there? All right. Good. Who else had a little problem with this exercise? Just a little bit of, you know, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Anybody? Tansy?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it? Well, why not?
Put her outside.
I wasn't sure what you were going to have us do with the water once we spit it back.
So you didn't do it at all? Well, all right. It's obvious that we need to talk a little bit about saliva, because, I mean, it's just clear water, a little bit of saliva in your mouth. So, what is saliva? I can see this is a bad crowd over here. I've got to keep an eye on it. What's saliva?
Acid.
It's a bodily fluid.
Basically water with some enzymes.
Water with some enzymes. Is saliva a good thing? Yeah, I mean...
In the right place.
So, I mean, what are the good things about saliva?
It starts digesting food.
Starts the digestive process, yes?
Keeps bacteria from eating away your teeth.
That's right. It's antibacterial. How about a lubricant? Can you imagine eating that bran muffin in the morning, you know, with no saliva? Tough. So is saliva a good thing? Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is to pass your cups to... just kidding. Just kidding.
I didn't do it. I'm sure you know how to do it.
Yeah, but somebody can drink your water. You just have to drink theirs and theirs will love.
Okay, so we know...
My pure water.
So saliva is a good thing. A little bit of saliva. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and drink it down.
No.
A little bit warmer this time. Go ahead. I got to know over
You're
here.
my boss doesn't mean you can't make me drink my
Okay. How many of you could not or just would not drink it down? John, why not? You didn't want to. Joya, you said no?
Same thing.
You don't want to?
No.
Anybody else say no? No? Why
If
not?
somebody was going to give me something to do it, I would happily do it. But why should I just do it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? You either, Fran?
No, it wasn't about whether it made sense or not. I just had nuts in it, so I chose not to.
I see.
I was exercising the right to choose.
Okay.
There you go.
So where did our feelings about spit start?
When we were little.
How old were we when we first?
Very little.
Yeah. it turns out we're not talking about saliva anymore, are we? We're talking about spit. And I remember as a kid, I was probably, I don't know, 4, and my little sister was 2, and I remember we were eating cream corn at the table. And, you know, I'm eating the cream corn and like this, and my little sister's here, and I went, you know, and oh, man, I mean, you know, down the hall and into your room, and, you know, of course, my sister's screaming at the top of her lungs and all that sort of thing. So, you know, I learned that, you know, spit, you know, stuff is, once it's in your mouth, it's in there, and it's supposed to stay in there. My poor sister, I mean, I watched, and now I think back in horror, you know, at what older brothers do to little sisters. But I can remember getting her down, and, you know, I'd be sitting on top of her like this so she couldn't move her arms, and I'd take it, you know, eating the chocolate, so I'd be over top, and she'd be like this, and I'd go like this, and you'd suck it up, you know, at the last minute. Now, occasionally it'd get away from you, you know, and oh, and it hit, and, you know, so then I would run because I'd know my mother was going to be coming after me, you know, momentarily. So how about the paradigm that was created for my sister, you know, maybe when it got away from me? What might she think about spit? And how many...
Not the spit, men, boys.
All other paradigms also being created. That is so funny. Starting to see how these things can start to, you know, it's starting to become a belief system, isn't it? How many of you remember when you first first thing with spit? Anybody? Anybody? Yes? Kimmy?
I'm the youngest of 4. My brothers did that to me all the time.
Your brothers did it to you, didn't they?
You scream for mom, it goes in your mouth.
Oh, that's the best one. You know, it's like making a basket from half court. Yeah.
You're ever really afraid of the spit as much as you are of your brothers. And
Exactly.
control
It's
issue.
not-
Oh, exactly. Look at these other things that are happening now. I always had this this picture of, you know, John Wayne, and, you know, he's been out in the trail, you know, they've been driving cattle, you know, and they've been out and sitting, you know, on the log at night and eating beans and trekking through cow manure and riding horses and sweating up a storm and everything, you know, and he walks into the saloon, and the bad guy's waiting for him, you know. And the bad guy says, "I've been waiting for you, John, you know. You're ruining this town for the 2 of us." Like this. And John walks up, you know, and the guy turns around, he goes, he spits in John's face, a little saliva. Now what's John got to do?
Indignantly has to defend his honor.
Say it again, Phil?
Clean it off his face.
Well, he may have to clean it off his face, but he's going to do something else too. What is it?
Kill him.
He's going to have to kill him. He's got to kill him. He's got to beat him within an inch of his life and drown him in the horse trough, you know, at the minimum. Now think about it logically. You wipe it off, you know, life goes on. It's not that big a deal.